Volume's good. Ah, we're live. We're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. This is Nikki with that Homeschool Live, and tonight is our Friday night live. Boom. See how that little scroll came up right at the same time? So anyway, if you guys can hear me and see me good, let me know. I never use a mic, although I have like 20 of them, from the cheapies to the expensive ones. So I'll give you guys just a moment to come on in, and then I'll do a quick mic check. And for those of you who are watching the replay of this, please feel free to leave comments. Pull up the live chat bar alongside the video to follow along. I will be doing a chapter summary of our lives because they tend to run pretty long, at least an hour. So I will be having those chapter summaries down below in the description box. All you have to do is just, jump around to whatever spot you feel most comfortable with, listening to and all of that. So you can still get the whole experience without watching the whole thing. But it would be nice if you watched the whole thing. So let me wipe my bright orange lipstick off so I can take a sip from my hall pass. I hope you guys have your hall passes. Let me put in here. Welcome, welcome. Please ask. Okay. This says, ask me anything. Okay. I'm going to put that in the chat. So if you're just coming in, ask Nikki anything. It does not have to be homeschool related. Ask Nikki anything tonight. Okay. I have, oh my gosh, you guys are blowing up my DMs. And listen, if you have DM'd me and I haven't responded in about a week, that's because I have like 25, 27 DMs. Y'all be asking some really complicated, very long, detailed questions. But here's the thing. Being the person that I am, a Sag, I give you really detailed feedback. I'll go look up information and hit it back to you. So, so if it takes me a while to respond to your DMs, I haven't forgotten about you. If I think there's something of value that I can give to your question, then I'm looking for it, or just haven't gotten to it yet. But I just want to give you something, because y'all be having some stories. Some of y'all need therapists, but in a good way. Some of y'all have stories. And, I have to kind of dig out what your real question and your need is. So just know that I'm on it, but I will be responding to some of those. All right, who's in the chat? Danielle. Hey, girl. Silly Mommy for Life. Hello, guys. Okay, so this might be a short live. It might be the shortest in the history of my Friday night lives, because you guys get to ask me anything. So if you want to jump in and get your question in while you have me, and I can give you a more detailed answer before more people come in, I'm just going to go on to Instagram and just tell them that I'm live and that they need to come on over to YouTube right now. So, ooh, that's not working. Oh, okay, guys, y'all know how I always struggle. The Instagram struggle is real. Okay, so I'm live. So, anyway, questions. I will kind of give you guys just a little mini update on what I've been doing for the past, oh gosh, I haven't been on with recorded videos for almost a month, it seems. Almost a month. Hey, Shatoina, come on over to YouTube, guys, okay? Because I'm not going to stream on Instagram. I'm just coming here to say, hey, what's up? And then come on over to YouTube. You know where to go, girl. And I'm waving back at you, okay? I'm just going to stay on for 5 minutes so people know. Hey, guys, I am live on YouTube right now. It is Friday Night Live, and it is Ask Me Anything. You might want to ask what color lipstick I'm wearing because it's very bright. All right, guys. So, questions so far. What's going on? Okay. Sankofa Mama, come join us on YouTube, okay? Because my phone's battery is actually low, so, and my charger's nowhere to be seen. So come on over to my YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. It is That Homeschool Life on YouTube. Come join us over there, okay? Bring your questions. I'm out. All right, guys. Okay, so let's see. Danielle Frost Family. That is a new name for me. Hi, everyone. Hey, Niki. Great to see you. How do you or do you not involve your husband in homeschool day to day? Okay. All right, guys. I'll see you on YouTube, okay? End now. The question is, how do you involve your husband with homeschooling? He pays. He pays for these classes and this curriculum, or for most of it. No, but seriously, my husband doesn't help directly with the learning. And it's funny because he has a degree in like theoretical mathematics, really smart guy. He's not the most patient guy. And many times I've asked him, with each of my kids, to try to help them with like their math. Math is the only thing, sometimes science, that I will like, hey, you want to step in? You got the math degree. And then next thing I know, I'm like, come on, what's the answer? Or you did it that way. It's like so judgmental and stuff. And I'm like, we can't have that. So it always becomes a fight, So, my husband is not patient. But for piano, he does help my children with piano. All three of my sons take piano lessons. So he helps them with that. And he helps a lot. He played growing up. As a matter of fact, the piano that my children play on was his piano when he was a little kid. The piano's almost 100 years old. My husband's almost 100 years old. No, I'm kidding. But the piano was already old when he started playing it. So it's like 98 years old, the piano. And so he helps out with that. If he needs, if the kids, they have a lot of extracurricular activities, so he drives them to their activities. He works from home. He's been working from home almost 2 years before the pandemic. So that was an adjustment. Sometimes he's still kind of in the way just because we have 2 dogs. We have so many distractions that come in and throughout the house. But he helps more than the distractions that he makes when he's like, coming through the house and stuff like that. My kids are like, hey, Dad, and they want to get away from doing something and they go, chase after their dad. But in that respect, he is really helpful. My husband cooks a lot. He makes most of the meals, especially the last year. He cooks probably like 4 or 5 times a week. And he does have a cooking background. His dad into like that high dining kind of food. Well, that's not what you call it, but fine dining. Like his dad makes very fine cuisines, and so he grew up eating really well. And so his father taught him. So he's and some of you don't know that my husband has a French background. So the butter, the cream, all of that fattening stuff, which is really good, but really just heavy foods. He does. He makes it light. Makes a lot of light food now, but he helps out with that. So that's huge to me. So it's not necessarily helping me out in the homeschool, but it helps out in the house. So I'm not so exhausted at the end of the day because I get up. I just naturally wake up around 4:30 in the morning. And no matter what, since I was in 4th grade, I think I'm always up at 4:30, thereabouts, 4:30, depending on the time change. And so by 8 or 9 o'clock, I'm just like, I'm ready to go to sleep. So, that helps me out a whole lot. But no, that's a great question. And I'm always interested in talking to families to see, what kind of help they have. And is it consistent? Is it really helpful? All of that good stuff. So that's a great question, Frost family. And welcome if you're new here. Let's see. Danielle says, I'm starting to plan for next year, and there are so many books I want to order. Do you plan your subject schedule first or curriculum first? That is a great question, Danielle. Usually, see, this is May, and people typically, homeschoolers, start looking at curriculum like January, definitely February, mainly because one, the catalogs are coming in, your Rainbow resources. You know, I don't get the Christian bookstore catalog anymore. I don't know if they stopped doing it or if somehow I stopped asking for it or I haven't bought anything from them. But anyway, but also classes start putting out their early bird selections. So usually people will start just getting an idea of what they might be doing for the fall. Now, I haven't put out any videos on curriculum selections for 21-22, mainly because I don't have anything. The older I get and the more I learn about my children and the more comfortable I get with homeschooling, even with 10 plus years of homeschooling, I'm like, you know, I change stuff a lot. So I'm not going to rush right out the gate and do anything. And I'm pretty familiar with a lot of things that's already out on the market. For my high schooler, for my ninth grader, my rising ninth grader, I do have his schedule set. Well, partially set, and I'll tell you guys what that is in a moment, only because he needs to start getting California. Y'all, California, as beautiful as this state is, and it is absolutely gorgeous, the rules, the regulations, all the chokeholds they put you in. If your child is interested in going into any of the UC schools, that's what we call them, the University of California schools. So UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, UC Davis, and that's like your top tier for the public schools, right? So they have their own requirements. They're called A through G requirements. So it's just another hurdle, just another thing you have to be aware of when you're trying to decide what classes your child's going to take, or if you're going to teach them how to make your transcripts compliant or approved for A through G classes if you intend for your child to go to a UC system school. If you're doing the Cal State, the CSUs, you don't have to worry about that. Private schools, you don't have to worry about that. Your Stanfords, you know, Caltech, your, I'm telling you the high-end classes, schools, but Biola, things like that. So, but your question was, do you plan to schedule, do you plan your subjects and schedules first or your curriculum first? So first thing, look at the grade level that your child is going into. Elementary is going to be different from middle school, and it's going to be different than high school, right? Hold on, y'all. Let me take a swig of I have 2 hall passes. I'm a superstar student or a sycophant to the teacher. I got my real hall pass. That has MCT oil in it. I need that. And my water. Okay. So it depends on what grade level your child is going into. Now for high school, let's just start with high school. I'm going to be looking at the subjects, okay? Basically, you kind of want to just look at the subjects and then build your curriculum around those subjects. For instance, say for this, scratch high school, whether it's elementary, middle school, or high school. Say you want to teach science, right? You've been like slacking with science and you're like, I'm going to hit it at the ballpark this next school year with science. You know, you're going to do science. So now you'll start looking at the curriculum. You'll start seeing, do I want a Christian-based curriculum or secular-based curriculum? Do I want something that's teacher-intensive? Do I want something more hands-off that the kids can do on their own? Do I want something that they can do every day? Or is it something that it's enough if they do it 2 times a week or something like that? You're also going to look at do you want textbooks? Depending on your homeschool style. Do you want textbooks? Do you want a lot of hands-on activities? Or do you want a little bit of both? So as you kind of define your style, if you don't already know it, hey babe, who's there? Oh, yeah. What's it?
I know. What are you gonna go for?
No, I'm just gonna do an hour.
Okay, you just keep going.
All right. But did you need anything? That's my husband. Oh, he ran off like a thief in the night. So, so what was I saying? So depending on, so for science, so choose the subjects, because you're not going to do all subjects every year, right? Hopefully maybe you're doing the core reading, writing, and math, but you might not do spelling, you might not do vocabulary, you might not do logic, or you might be light on social studies, maybe history, but not geography. So think of the subjects you want to do first, and then think about your homeschool. Realistically, honestly, think about your homeschool style. Are you really going to have English where they're reading 50 million books, and then history where they're reading 200 books, and then you're going to have a literature-based science okay? So start, but just get it down on paper, so then you can see the nonsense and the craziness, and then the normalness, the reality. But once you put it on paper, then you can see what looks realistic. You might be like, you know what? We're kind of front loaded for the first semester. So the second semester, we might drop something, or we might just do it 2 days a week versus 4 or 5 days a week. But once you get it on paper, decide what subjects you want to do, then you can weed in the curriculum, okay? And also look at your curriculum. Okay, you know, I'm gonna give y'all something free. Let me see. I'm going to show you an example of it. I need to give you my curriculum planner. I'm going to give it to you for free. I have it in my Mega Homeschool Planner book, which is like $15. I'm going to revamp that for the new school year. And I think what I might do is just pull the pages out and give them as freebies for those who are on the live. So I'll give you until like maybe like 2 or 3 hours after the live ends to download it, because I got to upload it. I might give you till this weekend. But the curriculum planner, you'll write in. I have it organized the way my brain thinks. Might not be a good thing, but I like to see if all the curriculum that I'm looking at, is it going to shoot me in the foot 6 weeks from now, right? I need a nice little mix of maybe one teacher intensive thing, and then low prep, no prep for other things. So I like to mix things up like that, okay? I know that was long-winded. Don't do curriculum first, because you'll end up overbuying curriculum and being mad with yourself and having a thinner wallet because you're just all over the place. So decide what you're going to do first, then look at what is realistic for the curriculum, and then do that. And then schedules, once you have your classes or the subjects you're going to teach, and you have your curriculum picked out, then you can worry about your schedule, okay? The schedule is the most flexible thing. You don't have to worry about the schedule until maybe a couple of weeks before school starts, okay? Because now you have to start thinking about what's your life gonna be like. Are there extracurricular things coming in? Are you remodeling the house? Are you about to drop a baby like it's hot? So all those different things will determine your schedule, okay? So start with subjects first, curriculum, schedule, okay? So SCS, subjects, curriculum, schedule. All right, let's move on. All right, I see a lot of y'all came on in. Oh, hello, Sankofa Mom. I haven't seen you, so are you new? I think I've seen you, but not in the live. So I'm just seeing a lot of new faces in the live. So welcome. Again, if you guys are just joining in, if you're watching the replay, I will have a chapter breakdown summary of everything that we talk about. So, you know, you're free to, you know, hop around and check out all the different segments of this long video. Okay. Hey, Janice, how are you, lady? Hey, Shatoina, it's so good to see you. Y'all, let me tell you, I know some things. For some of you, I'm 100 steps ahead of you. For others, I'm 1 step ahead of you. And for others, I'm like 2.5 steps behind. I'm yapping at your heels. I am 2 steps behind this beautiful sister here, Shatoina, okay? This sister, she is on it for her homeschooling stuff. And I've been trying to get her for like half a year or so to start a channel, because she has a lot of wisdom. A lot of you guys have a lot of wisdom. At least I got to get you on as a guest, okay? Because you guys know a lot of stuff that I don't know, and I'm all about helping to spread that information. I have no ego where this is concerned. These are our babies. However we can get that information to them is how we get it to them. And I don't care if it's through me or somebody else. Let's just get the information. All right, Frost family, thank you. Same here. I find myself judging his style when he does get involved. Yeah, that was me. It's best that he just keeps funding our activities. And you know what? Oh, rant. Hold on. I need need to make a little thing that says rant alert. Hold on, I'm about to go on a rant. I try not to do rants, you guys, because sometimes they might get like, it might get offensive, but rant, I'm typing it in right now. Rant alert. You know what? And I have this rant alert. All right. Now, I said, I don't know if y'all caught this, but I said this maybe a couple of weeks or a couple months ago that I think I might be turning into an unschooler. Hey, y'all like my little dookie knot on top of my head? I got it all pushed back. Anyway, I was just looking at it. I was like, oh, it's holding up. Okay, so I was like, y'all know my things, like with history, I'm always putting something together. For math, I'm changing stuff. For science, I'm changing stuff, or curriculum, I should say. And I'm like, I'm tired of this curriculum hoops, this jumping of the hoops. Although there is merit and value to it, but I just felt sometimes I was becoming a prisoner to it. And I said, you know what? We're not going to use anything. Except for math, we're going to use materials, curriculum. But for everything else, I was like, I feel like I don't need to buy anything else. I have so much. I really need to take you guys on a tour of my vault. I'm embarrassed at what I have, because if I had just taken that money that I spent on all that extra curriculum and bought some altcoins or some Ethereum or some Bitcoin back in the day, I wouldn't even be on here. I'd be rich living somewhere in the Riviera. It's just, and I don't want to sell anything too, because I'm like, oh, we might come back to it, or I can keep it for my grandbabies or whatever. But listen, for the judging, is okay. I have all boys, and I've been blessed to have positive male role models around me for like most of my life. And one thing they've always said was, women can raise great citizens, great people, but they can't raise great men. It takes a man to raise a man, just like it takes a woman to raise a woman. And sometimes when we're looking at, you know, the fathers, the husbands, the boyfriends, whomever that are around our children or maybe helping out, not just with homeschool, but with, you know, the child rearing duties, we want to judge how they're doing that. And we do that through the lens of a feminine, a woman, a female. Okay. And I said, if I ever put my children in public school, they would go to an all boys school, because boys learn differently than girls. I don't care. I've seen it too much. They learn differently. My husband went to an all boys school his entire life and agrees. He saw the difference when he was in college. So sometimes, like when I was like, oh, he's yelling and blah, 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 that was me thinking as a woman who, you know, we kind of, you know, we just have a different wiring for how we do things, and definitely for how we approach school. You know, in the public education sector, almost 90% of the teachers are female, right? And that doesn't bode well for boys who their attitudes and behaviors look different to a female teacher, especially if she doesn't have any sons or nephews or things like that. And so their movements, their just natural inclinations looks defiant or disruptive to a teacher who doesn't have that awareness. So I had to pull myself back from my husband with the teaching, because I was thinking in terms of just a female, right? But actually, I ended up being right, because my kids were like, Mom, he's still not patient. But you know what? Sometimes they need that. They need that little kick in the pants. So, but even then, my husband was like, what's that tutor's name again? So anyway, all right, moving on. I know that was long-winded. So yeah, so the husband, he helps out with funding. Number one, he pays the mortgage, the gas, all the things that, you know, help us thrive. By the way, we're in California and gas is $4.79, and I got a big old Yukon Denali, the extended one, and it's like $120 to fill it up. So that is crazy. And I grew up in Houston when gas was like 75 cents. Whew, times are changing, y'all. All right, let's move on. Okay. Oh, this is very helpful. Oh, you're welcome, Benita. Hi, Visa Ann. inspired amongst the chaos. Hello. Okay, so we have a number of new people here. Thank you for stopping by. Any more questions? Any more questions? Let me put the banner back up. This is Ask Me Anything. Guys, listen, I know you want to ask me because if my phone, I need to charge it right now. It's about to die. If I showed you my DMs on Instagram, if I showed you my DMs and all the questions you guys have been asking me, you need to ask them now. I think the last question I got before I came on here, someone was asking if I still use Beast Academy. Yes, I'm still using Beast Academy. Now, there are 3 parts to Beast Academy. You have the books, the physical books, the guidebook, and the practice book. You can check out, eventually I'll link all the videos. I have about 4 or 5 videos on Beast Academy. I go thorough in Beast Academy, the online version and the book version. So you have the book version, and that's complete curriculum, grades 2nd through 5th. But actually, if you watch my video, you'll see it actually goes up to 6th, 7th, 8th. It hits up to 9th grade, right? And then you have the online version, part 1. That online version are the games that you can play. And it's not just games. It's divided by different subjects, fractions, measurement, addition, decimals, whatever. And then you have like 12 lessons for each subject, okay? And it's through like, there are games. They add so much new stuff. They have puzzles and things like that. And then you have the online classes, which is what my sons are taking now. Those classes meet twice a week for about 50 minutes each time. And then with those classes, the homework is the online part where I told you where it's divided into subjects with 12 lessons for each subject. So the class uses that, but you have a teacher, and then you have the online support. The books, they would like you to have the books if you want to follow along in class. But one of my sons lost one of the 4 books, and he was able, because the books are actually online as well. So technically, you don't really need the books. But yeah, so we're still using Beast Academy. But for next year, for my 7th grader, we're not using Beast Academy. I was using 2 grade levels below for my 6th grader. But we're going to switch to Singapore Dimensions. And then for my rising 5th grader, I don't know. Remember you asked about the curriculum and when should you get it and stuff like that? I haven't decided. This summer, I'm sitting down individually with each one of them, and we're going to seriously talk about what we've used, what they liked, and I'm giving them more input. And I have a feeling he'll want to go back to Singapore. That was his first love. Okay. So I don't know. We're just going to play it by ear. Every year I try to rush and do everything, and I end up changing things. So now I'm just going to let things unfold. And like they say in basketball, let the game come to you. I'm going to let the homeschool situation come to us. And I'm not rushing it at all. When you think about it, if you honestly, unless you're an unschooler, we're not going to count the unschoolers because they're not going to have a lot of curriculum choices in their house. But if you normally have a lot of curriculum, if you honestly looked at everything you have in your house, curriculum, books, just everything, you really could educate your child to 12th grade darn near. You got a lot of stuff. And if you just really milked it and worked it and, maybe got some supplements to extend some of the learning, you probably already have everything you need to teach your child at the top level. We just don't think about it. We're just so caught up in all this stuff, right? All this stuff. All right, let's move on. Janice, what are you saying? Boys need male teachers, particularly in middle school, especially if they come from a single mom household. Abso-freaking-lutely. Our boys get short shrift anyway in schools. And, if you're coming from a single mom household, like my sisters, both my sisters, one's a single mom, the other one, she's divorced twice. So essentially a single mom. But my my middle sister was so good at surrounding her son with so many mentors. As a matter of fact, he just won state championship in discus in Texas, and he's going to nationals in Oregon. So I'm very proud of him. But when he did all of his television interviews, oh my God, so just I'm like, was Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, John Henry Clark, were all these people your mentors? Because just I was just blown away by just his level of maturity, and he was already like media savvy, but very humble, very, very humble, and just as cute as he wants to be, but just very humble and grateful. So I love that. So yes, absolutely, these boys need male men, especially now with the feminization of males in this country. We need more male mentors. Absolutely. Shatoina, always Shatoina, you know I'm from Texas, so I'm always going to say your name effed up. You are so precious. I am honored that you see me beautiful. Of course. Stop hiding yourself. Come on. You can't just stay in the South. The whole world needs to see you, lady. Okay. And also, let me tell you guys, especially as a boy mom, I'm always girling stuff like that. No, I don't miss having a daughter anymore. I did when my kids were like really small, but when they started playing sports, I was like, I was past that. But I still like, all the little girly bobble things and things like that. And I like looking like really good. And a lot of us homeschool moms, look, we be looking like tore down, broke down. I was trying to find something to make me look tore down and broke down. We look tired, and we are, right? But when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. When you do good, as Deion Sanders would say, they pay good. But just putting that little extra into yourself makes a huge difference. So I always try to represent, because my boys wear me out, but I'm like, you're not going to wear this out. So it's always good to see other homeschool moms where, you don't have to wear makeup and have your hair done and all that kind of stuff, but they just did something. I like seeing them done up or put together, because it tells me they thought enough of themselves to put themselves first for maybe the 15-20 minutes it took for them to get ready. And I like that. Okay. I like seeing these women who, being women and not just a mom and an educator and a chauffeur and all of that. So that little mini rant is over. All right. How long have you been homeschooling? Okay. This is one thing you should ask people who say they've been homeschooling for all these years. Sometimes they start homeschooling, they start the clock when the child's in utero. I'm not kidding. Others start when you are legally required to send your child to school. So that's when they're on the clock. Because basically, if you stay at home with your child, essentially you are homeschooling. If you're doing something, if you're teaching them colors and letters, or just shapes, just when you got little babies, you're teaching them, right? You're teaching them how to walk, how to talk, how to eat, all of those things. And then eventually you start teaching them more things, like how many French fries? I hope not French fries. How many carrots, or how many pieces of broccoli, or what color is this? What color is this apple? Things like that. So officially, I started homeschooling when my oldest son was in kindergarten. He was in public school, and I just found out that a charter school had opened up. So he was 2 months into the public school. Now, homeschool was already on my mind. I just didn't know where to begin. And our public school, I had been hearing all the moms in my mommy group who had older kids just rave about our public school. It's a top performing public school. And we lived 2 streets down from the public school. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to walk my kids, to school, and then walk up there and pick them up and walk back to the house. Cause you always see the kids walking back and forth, the rites of passage. So, and he had an amazing year in kindergarten. I loved it. He loved it. Made a lot of friends. I made a lot of friends. But I think it's the end of October. So when I found out about the charter school, I got on the wait list. Okay. So in October, they called me up to say that I was called off the wait list. So we left the public school, I think November. And we went to the charter school. Now, this was the first year of this charter school, so it was really unorganized. And while we were there, my son was missing his friends and his teacher. And meanwhile, I was looking at the stuff that they were asking us to do, and I was like, but y'all said this last week. It was that kind of affair. It was something was changing every week. It was just so unorganized, and I was annoyed. And then my son was like, I had to do more play dates because he wasn't seeing his friends during school. So in January, I'm like, we're out of here. I gave it almost 2 months. It was so unorganized. So we went back, and then I was seeing all the moms, and then the teacher there was the head of the gifted and talented program. And I had become friends with her because I was giving her the stuff to teach the gifted and talented program at the school. So we had that connection. So I went back, and we, didn't lose a step, got right back into it. And then he went to first grade and had a great year. And then in second grade, we were starting to have issues with one of the teachers. Not bad. She was really, really cool. But my son was really starting to show a high aptitude in math. And she was a former fifth grade teacher, moved down to second. So she was giving him her old work. And then she would have her former students come in and help the kids in her second grade class. And my son was like running circles around them. And so she was like, you know what? Your son's getting really bored and antsy in class. What should I do? And I'm like, you're the teacher. So that went on for like a month. And then she was like, you know what? Well, just send him some work and I'll put him in the corner. As soon as she said, put him in the corner, I was like, nope. Just, no, just, he won't be in a corner like by himself, but, I'll put him off so he doesn't like, disturb any of the kids because he's finishing his work. And then he's just like, hey, so-and-so, what are you doing? Or whatever. So I said, okay, well, can he just walk around and help the kids out? He could be like your assistant. Think outside the box. So, she tried to do that, to her credit. And she was just like, he's just still. So I'm like, I don't know what that means. So we're out. And then my son was starting to say he didn't enjoy school anymore. He didn't like math. And because no one in the class liked math. And that was it. So that December, the first semester of his second grade year, I pulled him. And then, so their solution was, well, they can send them to a fifth grade class for math. Oh, but math is not at the same time. The schedules are not aligned. So he was going to miss 2 kind of periods because the math was at a different time. I'm like, oh, just a hot mess. So I pulled him and didn't look back. So officially, consistently, I've been homeschooling him since second grade. The others, my middle son, he started kindergarten. We had the same grade teacher. And then after that, started homeschooling him. And then my youngest one, he never went into the public school system. But he did do a charter school in kindergarten. The one that was really unorganized, they got their stuff together. And we ended up doing that charter school for 3 years. But we've been, I officially started homeschooling when the state required my children to be in school, was kindergarten. That's when we officially started. But in reality, I was already homeschooling when my kids were babies. So sometimes I say, see, my son's 14 and he was 5 in kinder, 5, 6, 7. And then I was actually homeschooling his younger brothers, like really is that it? No, we had an earthquake. We had 2 earthquakes here in Hermosa Beach. And it was in the ocean. And, I could give a whole lesson on the different types of earthquakes, the kind we have. We have the ones that your house moves like a seesaw, like a fun house. And then we have the earthquakes where it just vibrates like you're in those little nail salon chairs. And then you have the earthquakes where it's just a jolt, like boom, like someone just went boom, like how you want to do your kids. Stop making that noise. So I've been on kind of like high alert all week. So definitely. So I don't even know, that's why I say 10 plus years, because, if you want to count when I took him out permanently in second grade, or do you want to count when I took him out in kindergarten? So, that's your long-winded answer. All right, let me move on. All right. I don't know how I'm going to do the chapters for this because I'm all over the place. All right. Lisa says, hi, I'm new and loving your channel. Thank you, Lisa. I have a writing question. Let's hear it. I have a very creative storyteller in first grade. Do you recommend any fun, gentle, creative writing program curriculum for him? Oh, great. You know what? Julie Bogart's Brave Writer. I started my oldest one with that when he was in second grade, the second semester of second grade. And that was great. As a matter of fact, do I have it over here? Oh, that's my sister. Hold on. Hey, I'm live. Is everything okay? Okay, can't do it now. I'm live. You know I'll go live at this time. I'll call you when I'm done. Okay. Yeah. So it's called Jot It Down, and I think it's for 5 to 7-year-olds. Don't quote me on that. Maybe 5 to 6. I guess I should do a review on it. It's great. Now listen. Remember what I said about curriculum and how much work you want to put into it? Julie Bogart's writing programs are teacher intensive. They are teacher intensive. You're going to be doing poetry teas. You're going to be doing crafts. This is not a set it down and go, okay? So just keep that in mind. But it's a great program. It's called The Brave Writer. And anyone else in the chat who has used it or you're familiar with it, you can chime in. It's a really great program. If you're looking for another creative approach writing program, that would be oh, help me out, guys. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. But you definitely don't want to do IEW, the Institute for Excellence in Writing. It is the complete opposite of creative, okay? It's more formulaic, more rote, okay? It is just the opposite. Some people do something creative and then they'll do IEW to kind of get the form and the procedures for writing. But, oh, what's the other creative, guys? It's a really popular creative writing program. But you can't go wrong with the Brave Writer. Now, it might be a little difficult to understand like which program to use. So go to Kathy with a C, KathyDuffyReviews.com or KathyDuffy.com. She's like the grandma of curriculum reviews, homeschool curriculum reviews. She's got a really good review on the Brave Writer system. So he would probably really like that, okay? Also, on Teachers Pay Teachers, don't sleep on that. They have some amazing things. I know, yeah, I'm forgetting all of them. I guess I need to do, hold on. I guess I need to do a video on creative writing programs, right? Okay. Now listen, y'all, the reason why I have not put videos out is because I got a new editing software. I got new editing software, creative writing programs. Now, y'all know I've been being and moaning about editing and I hate it. And it's mainly because I have iMovie and I hate iMovie. So I switched to Final Cut Pro and that's a learning curve. So it's taking me a while to get that going. So just bear with me. This summer, come summer after June 13th, when the boys football championship is over, I'm going to be a beast. Y'all going to be like, Nikki, can you please stop putting videos up? I'm still trying to catch up. You're going to be watching a new video, and then another video is going to be uploaded. That's how crazy it's going to be. So just start with that, Lisa. Start with The Brave Writer by Julie Bogart. All right, let's see. Danielle says, do you have an opinion on Rod and Staff English? Very, very solid program. You know what? I find that a lot of Christian-based programs, especially with writing, the language arts, they don't play. You are going to learn. You are going to learn. Very solid program. Now, here's the thing. I actually considered Rod and Staff as a very solid program. I didn't like the images. It's very 1950s looking to me. And the pages were a little bit too busy. Now, I don't know if that is for all of their books, but for second and third grade, maybe it was fourth grade, it was a little, but your child's going to learn. sometimes I felt it could be a little overkill depending on if you just want a writing program, a grammar program, reading program. Some of those programs with Rod and Staff, you kind of get all of it. And then if you want to do like a separate grammar program or something, it becomes overkill. So you have to be careful with Rod and Staff for the ELA selections and see, okay, is there enough grammar in here to where I just only need a supplement, or is this a whole standalone grammar program embedded with the writing? Okay, and that's one thing to keep in mind when you're looking at ELA curriculum. Is it standalone writing or composition? Is it standalone reading, spelling, vocabulary, grammar? Because some of them will have, for instance, writing and rhetoric. That's the program we use for writing. It has lots of grammar in it, but not enough to be a standalone curriculum. You would have to supplement the grammar, okay? So for me, for my oldest one, we don't even touch the grammar pages because he's good on his grammar. So we get through those writing and rhetoric books pretty quickly. So you might find yourself skipping some of the work because you might have another program dedicated to the different component of the English language arts. So just keep that in mind. But it's a very, very good, solid program. All right, Shatorna, yes, you know yes, you do love Singapore. We are going back to Singapore for my oldest one. And I have a feeling not my oldest one, my middle child, but I have a feeling my rising fifth grader is going to want to go back to it too, because that was their first love. I switched, remember, I used Singapore Spine, and then I used Beast as a supplement because back in the day, Beast was new. I actually put our charter school on Beast Academy. Beast Academy needs to be sending me some referral checks because I turned a whole school onto their program. But the guidebooks, the graphic novels, my kids loved. And so I thought, oh, well, we might as well get the practice books and go ahead deep into it. And they're like, yeah, Mom, the books are enough. We don't need the practice books. So we'll see. But again, I'm moonwalking back and I'm letting them take the lead and decide. Now, the thing is, I got all the books so they can just look through and decide what they want to rock with. But I have a feeling they're going to want to go back to Singapore. All right. Her words heal. Hey, I'm having trouble committing to a writing curriculum for my 9th grader. Oh, y'all, it's a high school question. I've looked at Write Shop. Write Shop is good. Essentials in Writing. And even The Good and the Beautiful. Not a Good and the Beautiful fan, though. Suggestions. Okay. Now, I don't know what state you are in. But if you go to curriculumcorner.com, I believe it's .com, and you look at the I can statements. Now, I'm not a standards girl by any stretch of the imagination. But for high school, hold on. For high school, I've seen this way too many times. For the parents who decide to take that step and homeschool high school, at one point in time, your child might want to go to public school, or you might need to put your child in public school, okay? That's one reason. 2, you still have to graduate from high school in your state, and your state is going to have rules on what is considered an acceptable credit, whatever, to meet the credits to graduate. So I say all that to say, grab those I can statements and go to, let me just see if I have it here. Y'all hold on. Just to see what the requirements are. And then, hold on, y'all. Hold on, because I started moving curriculum up here. Let me see. I can statements. Y'all stay with me. I'm looking for the I can statements. I got too many papers here. I got 2 shelves of just papers. All right, hold on. Let me make a note. I can statements. And the reason why I'm saying this, I can statements. You're also going to want to go to your state and get the guidelines for homeschoolers, okay? A good place to go to is Homeschool Legal Defense Association, hsdla.org, I think. It might be .com. And then click on your state and then see what those requirements are. Hold on. I can statements and then your state regs, okay? Now, once you go there and you find out, okay, I know I need to have so many credits of English, okay? Because we're going to back engineer this, okay? Now, you need to go and look at curriculum. Now, whether you want to outsource it for a class, whether it's an online class or an in-person class, or if you want to do it yourself, you still need the curriculum, right? Okay. So for the curriculum, if you just say for example, if you want to teach it yourself, so you're going to go online and say you want to use Write Shop, okay? I'm actually considering Write Source because it includes the 6 traits of writing, which I think is phenomenal. But that's a whole nother story and a whole nother video. But you're going to look at Write Source, or is it Write Shop? Yeah, Write Shop. And you're going to look and see what they're covering. You look in the table of contents, and you're going to look to see what all the concepts are that they're covering. And then you're going to look at the I can statements for 9th grade, okay? Because it's just easier to digest because your state is probably going to be kind of convoluted. But then look at your state. So Georgia standards, Florida standards, okay? Texas standards, or they might call them Common Core standards, or they might just call them standards. Different states will call it different things. Not all states are doing Common Core. Some do, some don't, okay? So, but just look for standards, okay? And then see what those standards are for your state. And then look at that curriculum and see how much of what's in that book aligns to the standards. And then figure out, okay, well, there are 2 things that are in the standards that are not in the book. So I'll just have to find a supplement for that, okay? So that's just a starting point, okay? So one good place to go to where there are so many parents who are very well articulated on curriculum is the Well-Trained Mind Forum. The Well-Trained Mind Forum. I know it's based on classical education, but when you go into the forums, people do all kinds of stuff, okay? But the good thing is they talk a lot about the curriculum, okay? And for each grade level, there is a planning thread. So you would go to the Well-Trained Mind Forum, go to the search bar and type in 9th grade planning thread, or go to high school, go to the high school forum, right? And then type in 9th grade planning thread. And in that planning thread, everybody puts out what they're using for the curriculum, and they'll have some reviews on how it worked out for them. Oh, this didn't work out for my older kids, but it's gonna, it worked out for this one. A lot of the parents, they've been using that stuff for years. You have a lot of veteran homeschoolers on there. So this is how the planning thread goes. They list all the subjects they're teaching, reading, composition, literature, logic, math, science, etc. And then they'll write down all the different curriculum that they're thinking of, because they don't know yet. And then as the months go by, they do a little strikeout of the curriculum that they struck out that they're not going to use. So that's really good to see. And then people come in and comment, and they'll ask about the curriculum. Oh, how did that work out? Was it too much, or was it enough, or whatever. How did you put it on the transcript, okay? So that's a wealth of information. It doesn't matter what your homeschooling style is, whether you're Waldorf, Montessori, unit studies, eclectic, classical, Charlotte Mason, unschooling, world schooling. It don't matter. It's giving you the curriculum and then what you can do, okay? And then if you want to go to Kathy Duffy, and then you can do writing, grade level, and then look at what's there for 9th grade, just so you start knowing what's available, okay? Don't buy anything yet. Just look, get the reviews, okay? And then you can make your decision, okay? Now listen, I'm gonna have some videos out at the very beginning, past the middle of June. June 13th, I'm free. And then I'm going to have more of these lives where you can ask me curriculum questions. And I'm going to have the curriculum here, okay? Well, actually, I'll probably just be somewhere where all my curriculum is. And then I'll show you how I'm planning for high school, how I'm planning for 9th grade, okay? So Write Shop, I've heard good things about for elementary. I don't know how it is for high school, but Write Shop, I actually went to a workshop that they put on at a convention years ago, and it was really good. Essentials in Writing, I had that. If this is what I think it is, there were like 3 parts, 3 books to that, and I don't know if this is the same Essentials in Writing. And then The Good, the Bad, and the Beautiful, I know a lot of people have used that when that curriculum came out just a couple of years ago. It's fairly new. I don't know how well that works for a high school level, but I could definitely, I think The Good and the Beautiful is free, right? Is that the free one that I'm thinking of, or am I thinking of Beautiful Feet? I don't remember. But if it is free, I'll get it and I'll look through it to see. Okay. So, and and yeah, so just start there. Just start there. The Well-Trained Mind, you'll start seeing recurring names for writing curriculum. Okay. And then you can kind of decide, oh, okay, a lot of people have been using this for high school. And then you'll find the reasons why that it gives you enough work to be considered a high school credit. Because that's the thing is this enough work? Does it warrant enough work where I will get a high school credit for English? So you got to think about those things. Hey, Black Queens, good to see you here. It's good to see you here, lady. I need to have you on too. Y'all, why y'all so scared to come on and talk? Just come talk. These people ain't gonna bite. And if they do, kick them out of here. Let's see. Are you in Texas? No, I grew up in Texas. I'm a Texas girl, raised in Texas, but I live just outside of Los Angeles. I am like in Metro Los Angeles, where all the smog is. No, I'm kidding. I'm by the beach, but we still get smog. Yes, our boys need good men around them, inspired amongst the chaos. Okay, good. All right, I need to catch up with the comments. Good points about the male versus female teaching styles. Shadra or Chadra. Yes, that makes a big difference. Foxy Moxie. I need to see what you look like. That's a cool name. Hi there. How do you determine which books will be required reading for the year? Oh, girl. Oh, I got to take a sip for that one. My oldest son is headed to the 4th grade, and I want to buy all the things. All right, hold on. I'm about to enable you. Okay. First things first. Ooh, fourth grade. That's a great year. Now, for me, I have 2 kinds of reading for my kids. I have a novel unit study guide where we study the classics. It comes with a packet that I get from Teachers Pay Teachers. And then I have books for leisure that they can read, okay? I'm sorry, I have 3 sets. And then I have read alouds, okay? Now, usually the novel unit studies become read alouds, but the reason why I have it as 3rd is because a lot of the books my older 2 sons have read, but my youngest one hasn't read it yet. But the oldest 2 like those stories, like the Lemonade War. The Lemonade War was a novel unit study for my youngest son. My older 2 children, they both read those in 4th grade. So they came along but they read it, but we weren't really business minded. So we read it again with a business mind. So it was a read aloud. So 4th grade, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple of resources. 4th grade is a wonderful year. So what I do, okay, so there are certain books for every grade level that are must reads for my kids. Like for 6th grade, it's The Alchemist, because that's the journey from boy to man and discovering who you are, what your purpose is in life. And it's Paulo Coelho. Classic book, national bestseller. And then 7th grade, well, my oldest one did it in 6th grade. And then it's Animal Farm, because we start that. We kind of get a start on the rhetoric stage with our thinking about the world and people's behavior. But for 4th grade, the Fudge series, the Lemonade War, I look for easy books that are about 4th graders, right? And then I rev it up to classics like Robin Hood and Treasure Island, like all those adventure kinds of books. So look at what kind of personality is your child. My sons they're into adventure, shocker. They're into battles. They're into fantasy, those kinds of things. So I find books like that, and then I kind of balance it with the little traditional school, like public school books, like the Lemonade War, Fudge, Charlotte's Web. We didn't do Charlotte's Web. We did that in like second grade. But you know what I'm saying? Bunicola, you know, Mr. Popper's Penguins. I mean, that's not fourth grade, but you know, those kinds of scholastic books. That's the word I'm looking for. So I balance it between the scholastic books and then the books that they're into, and then I get the classics based on what they're into. Now, a good place to go to is teacherspayteachers.com, and you're going to go to the book umbrella. She has amazing. Let me see if I have a copy over here. She has amazing novel unit studies. So what you're going to do when you go to her Teachers Pay Teachers page, at the very top, she lists all the books for each grade level. That's included in her novel unit study. And those are traditional books that are traditionally taught in those grade levels, mainly because those kids are either in that grade or it's the age range is for that grade, okay? And, we did the Bridge to Terabithia. So hold on, let me see, because I want you to see that. It's a great way to start getting ideas for what your child might be interested in. So there's nothing to buy. Just read the excerpts and then decide if that's going to work for your child. And then, depending on what your background, your heritage is, whether you're Black, Asian, Native American, you also want to find books that talk about their culture as well. So I'm Black, so you know we do books that are about our culture, but we've read books on other cultures for that age group because we did Book Shark. And so it's good to see what kids their age around the world are kind of doing. So they can kind of, you know, just see what their place is in the world compared to other people. But let me see if I have that. So I think I have a Charlotte's Web one, an old one. And these are really great. Also, another good source, I hope you can hear me, is Common Sense. Hold on. I can't pull anything out. Charlotte, I know you were here. Hold on. All right. Okay. All right. I failed again, third time. I just have everything crammed in there. I just can't pull it out. Wait, is this it? No. Oh, no, it's the curriculum stuff. The stuff I'm going to give you for free. I think I did it before. I'm sure I did. I'm going to do it again in case y'all missed it. Yeah. Because y'all need to start writing down the curriculum. You know what? I need to redo this because I need to make a column for comments. So especially if you're new to curriculum, so you can start writing in the comments, teacher intensive, lightweight, too heavy, too dense, or, you know, lots of color, or pages look boring, you know, just whatever. I need to do another one with comments. So let me write that down. I'm going to give that as a freebie. I'll do it over the weekend. I promise. Okay. Curriculum, budget, makeover. That's not really a makeover. Okay. I'll probably do it Monday by myself sometime. Okay. All right. Now, what were we talking about? Okay. Yes. So there is, oh, hold on. Hold on. Now, this is a great book by Jim Trelease, the Read Aloud book. Remember how I said I like Read Aloud, the leisure reading, and the novel unit guides, or just a classic, This one in the back has all well, I'm trying to think how I divided it up. Let me do the table of contents. And if you go to Scholastic or Common Sense Media, you'll find lots of suggestions. Also, tried and true, anyway, Treasury 170 is go to the library. If you can go into the library, they have these strips. And anyway, they have this. These are the categories of books, like predictable books. What else do they have? They have them by grade levels, rhyming verses. They have all the books. And then they list the grade level. There's a synopsis. Let that get. So this is, I'm sorry, that's going in and out. The read aloud book. But one thing that I've always done, I go to the library, or you can print this out, get the list for the Newbery Awards, and then the book list for the Caldecott Awards. Okay, so Newbery is books with words. And then the Caldecott are your picture books, okay? So don't be afraid of picture books. They're not just for kids, okay? I still love looking through Caldecott books. So you look at and the list, you'll have a list of the books who won, and then there'll be another list of the honors, the books that have that honor. That's a great place to start. That way you're going to cover very classic, famous books that are classic or famous for a reason, and you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. All those books will be in your AP class, advanced class, honors classes in English or composition or literature. Okay, so you're gonna look for it. Let me just type it in. The Newbery Award and the Caldecott Award. Okay, Newbery. Why is it saying I spelled Newbery wrong? Well, y'all know what I mean. That's how you spell the Newbery Award. Anyway, it's in, I just put it in the chat. So look for those to get suggestions. So I gave you a lot of resources, commonsensemedia.org. The Teachers Pay Teachers, go to the book umbrella, and then the Newbery list and the Caldecott list. And depending on what your culture or heritage background is, something along the lines of that. And if you're not sure where to find those, just put book list for Native American 4th graders or 9-year-olds or 10-year-olds or something like that, okay? And that you should get a lot right there, okay? All right, let's see. That was a great question. Let's see. I say if it's not working, change it up. Yep, don't be a prisoner to a system, okay? But give it some time. Let it, open up like wine, and give it some weeks before you discard it. And then if it's still not working and there's a lot of tears, frustration, and anger, put it away. Maybe come back to it later on, or don't come back to it. All right. How about Lost Tools of Writing? Yeah, I think that's Dorothy Sayers. That's a good classic writing book. I think I have it on my bookshelf somewhere, or it might be downstairs. But that's for you, the teacher, to read and to teach your child. So it's really for you to change your mindset about writing, okay? So the Lily posted The Lost Tools of Writing by Dorothy Sayers. That's a good book to read up on, to start understanding, because a lot of people don't like to read or write, so and they kind of go hand in hand. So that kind of gives you the why and the big picture of why you should get into writing. Like for the creative writing, the name is coming back to me, the one that I forgot. It's through I forgot. It'll have to come back to me. But it's through an online program, but it's the curriculum that they use. And I think the curriculum is, I want to say it's Classical Academic Press, but I have the writing and rhetoric. I don't know. I have so much in my mind. Sometimes I forget. Remind me another time. All right. For a 1st grader, I second Brave Writer, jot it down. That age just allows them to write and maybe add in illustrations. Do something fun like putting a scrapbook together of their work. Yeah, so with the jot it down, every month you're doing a project. And that ties in with the writing. It's like a theme. So you're going to have a theme for each month, if you will. And you'll do a project. And that's great. That's almost like a unit study, if you added in some science and math. But it's a great way to be hands-on and to make that association of writing a positive one, especially at that age group. Writing is actually really complicated. Developmentally, it's really complicated. You got a lot of wires that have to connect just right so that hand can transpose, can, transmit all of those beautiful thoughts and ideals. It's physical, it's mental, it's biological or physiological. So that's a great, gentle way into writing the jotted down that Shatona just mentioned. Okay. Oh, the other Brave Writer product is Dart for that age. I don't remember. My battery is low. How's my battery low? Wait a minute. Your Mac will go to sleep. No, don't go to sleep. Wait, why is my Mac not charging? Hold on, y'all. Okay, I have it plugged in here. Oh, shoot. Hold on. It's saying my Mac is not. Why is my battery low? Okay, I'm going to unplug this and plug it in. Hopefully nothing goes to sleep. Don't go to sleep on me. All right. Why is my Mac not charging? Hold on. Let me try a different plug. Uh-oh. It's still not charging. What? What's happening? All right. I'm confused. All right. Maybe. All right. I'm going to switch to my webcam and then let me switch to my webcam. Okay. And now let me see if I can change the plug. Uh-oh, it's not charging. Why is it not charging? What? Here, let me switch it out. Oh my gosh. Oops. Guys, I'm at 9%. Bear with me, I'm at 9%. Oh my goodness. No, come here. I have no idea why my Mac is not charging. All right, let me unplug some of this stuff. All right. Oh, it's charging. My goodness. That was stressful. All right, I hope you guys are still here. Let me see if I can plug in my webcam. All right. Whew. I was going to lose y'all. All right, guys, what was I saying? Oh, Dart. All right, let me see if that's working. All right. Whew. Okay. Let me switch up the cam. All right. Ooh, that's yellow. It looks like I'm back in the 1980s. All right, well, we're just going to go with the webcam. All right. Okay, let's see. Mona, hey, good to see you. 7 Blessed Mom, hi there. The high school is not free, sis. Wait, what? Wait, the high school? What high school is not free? Shatona, what high school is not free? I must have missed something. I don't, well, yeah, Shatona, tell me what high school thing is not free. Okay, unless you're talking to somebody else. Any good suggestions on novels for an 8th grader? Oh, all right. Now listen. First off, I'm going to tell you, when you're doing literature, throw out all those requirements out the window, okay? I start my kids in 6th grade with high school literature. Animal Farm, well, we do dystopian, but you get the point. You don't have to wait until high school to read high school classics. To Kill a Mockingbird, Fahrenheit 911, not 911, 451, Fahrenheit 451. That's the degrees that you need to burn the books. Orson Welles or H.G. Wells, 1984. These are books my kids have read. They're good stories and they apply to the world right now. So don't wait until high school. 8th grade is perfect. Now, what you want to do is go to Lightning Literature. I think it's Hewitt Lightning Literature. No, I always forget their name. Hewitt, hold on. Is Hewitt? Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Hewitt Homeschooling. They have Lightning Literature, which onlineg3.com. It's a gifted program, but it's not really gifted. I mean, it is gifted, but your child doesn't have to be gifted. They just have to put the work in. They use Lightning literature for their classes. So let me put it in here, and then I'll put it in the chat. So Hewitt Homeschooling. I just need to spell Hewitt properly. Hewitt Homeschooling. And they will have a list based on 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I think it goes all the way up, but definitely 7th and 8th grade. Okay, it's called, and I'll put this in the chat. It is hewittlearning.org. Let me put that in the chat. Hewitt Learning. Put it in all caps. I don't want to do that. All right, Hewitt Learning. I know it's a really long, guys. hewittlearning.org. Okay. Now, you're going to go to hewittlearning.org and then go to, all right, so I went to Hewitt Learning. This is what it looks like. Oh, let me just go here where my thing is. Okay, yeah, my phone is all messed up. And then scroll until you see Lightning Literature. Hit that. Now, this is, you're just going here to get the books, okay, to see what, I love them. I love these books. So you have all the grade levels. Now, this will give you a good idea of classic books, really good quality books to read. So then you got junior high, if the glare, junior high, and then high school, okay? So for high school, come on with the glare. All right, guys. I suck at this. Okay. Well, let me see if I can. Anyway, you're already there. So you got high school, and then they have American literature, early to mid the stages, American literature, mid to late stages, British lit, Shakespeare tragedies, comedies, British medieval speech, world lit 2, etc. Now, of course, you're not going to see no real world history. But again, for history, if you have a certain background or heritage, you're going to have to supplement on your own. But to play the game with getting your requirements met for your state, this is good. This will equal what you need to do to get your literature to make sure you have enough of that to count for a credit. Okay, so, but any good suggestions on novels for an 8th grader? So what my son read in 8th grade, we are doing the medieval period, and we have a special focus on Blacks during the medieval period. So we're reading a lot about the Black Tudors in England. We're reading, we just finished reading, what did we just finish reading? It's not Omar, one of the Muslim, after, Lord, I'm just forgetting, the ancient Africa, after the fall of Songhai, it was even, I'm not sure how you say his name, there was like some works on him. So we kind of go off the beaten path, and so it's kind of hard to find some of those resources. It's not going to be like in a nice storybook form. You have to kind of find the story within a nonfiction kind of book. But books that we've read that would work for your 8th grader, like I said, 1984, Animal Farm, Fahrenheit, The Invisible Man. Depends on what your child is in. Like, my children are at that point where they like to question authority. So they like dystopian literature. They like Big Brother. They like reading about that and seeing how that plays in our everyday life, right? If your child is really into like fantasy, so you'll have, maybe the Jules Verne's novels, or H.G. Wells. That's a really, and then you have a lot of his books to kind of keep that fire burning. I'm all into whatever is on the Newbery Awards list. We're going to read that. To Kill a Mockingbird. As a matter of fact, my son is rereading Fahrenheit right now, because there is a graphic novel that has a nice long introduction by Ray Bradbury, the author. and it's a graphic novel, and it's really good. To Kill a Mockingbird has a graphic novel to it. Animal Farm has a beautiful illustrated book. I think I did a review on that with pictures. It's in color. So those are wonderful classics to start with. Because the books are beautiful. I love beautiful books. Mainly your classics are going to be like by Penguin Press classics, or Bantam, or Dover. And those books are really dry. They're tiny. The pages are harsh, and I don't like how they hold in the hand. And when you're reading these beautiful stories, you want to get up into it. You don't want just a book that keeps flopping and it's all rough. And I just like to have a beautiful experience when I'm reading a beautiful story. So those are just some things to think about. Okay, I guess I need to do a video on novels for middle school and high school. All right, I know that was long-winded. Let's see. All right, so the Newbery Award and the Caldecott Award. So Newbery, once you start putting words in it, you'll be a Newbery. It qualifies for a Newbery if it's a good book. Caldecott are mainly your picture books, okay? So for your older kids, I would start with the Newbery Award list and just go up from there, okay? As a matter of fact, let me just put it here, and then you guys can see what I'm talking about, and then you can get that, okay? And it's updated every year. They give awards every year, and the book that wins it will have a gold seal on the cover of the book. My fingers, I keep hitting every letter but the one I need. Award. Sorry, guys. All right, finally. So Newbery Award winners. Oh, I did misspell Newbery. It's, oh, Lord. Let me hide that message. Newbery. 1 R. All right. So anyway, you're going to go there and get your list. All right, so let me show you. Winners. Okay, you're going to go to the officials site. Wait, why did it take me to Amazon? List. All right, so you want the Newbery Awards winners list PDF. All right, this glare's got to go. All right, you see it right here? Okay, get the PDF, print it out, put it somewhere where you can see it, and this is what it's going to look like. Okay. All right, it's long because I think it goes back to like 1930, 1922. So it goes back to 1922. That's it. You're going to print that out and just go through it. Look through it, okay? Now, another source you can go to, I don't know if it's in all states, but in my state, in California, if you go to the California Department of Education, it's a really messy site, but navigate to high school, and then you'll see the requirements. You're going to navigate to literature, and they give you this beautiful search form for all the different kinds of literatures, and they break up all the different genres of the literature, and you'll get like a little excerpt, all of that. So these are all the books that can be taught in high school, right, in California. And so if a teacher wanted to change things up, she would go to that site, look and see, okay, this is approved, blah, 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 blah. I mean, they're all approved, but, you get validation. And I don't know if other states have that, but if not, go to California. It's very exhaustive. So that's another source to get your information. Okay. Hey, Samantha from Pray Love Homeschool. Hey, you have a new thumbnail. Looks good. I just noticed you were live. Yep, girl, we've been on here. Ooh, for over an hour and a half almost. Y'all get me every time. I said I was only going to be on here for 1 hour. I'm going to wrap it up. Hey, Natty Slim. What's good? Oh, the good and the beautiful. Yeah, the good. Okay, so Shatona says that the good and the beautiful is not free for high school, but elementary and middle school, for those of you who are interested, okay? You mentioned getting TGTB high school. If it was still free. It's not free like the lower grades. Okay, so there we go. Thank you for that breaking news. All right, and that was me putting my stuff in here. Homer. Oh, so if you want to go into the mythologies, Greek mythology, Indian mythology, because it's all there, all of that. you can definitely, get into that. If you're into Greek mythology, you might want to look at book lists of classical homeschoolers, because you're going to get Aristotle, you're going to get Plato, you're going to get, let's see, 'cause that's what I read in school. Aristotle, Plato. Oh, who else? There's a whole bunch of them. The Republic. Who did the Republic? No, I think that was Plato. I don't remember. But yeah, so if you want to get into the Greek components of the ancient Greeks and what they wrote about, you're definitely going to hit a lot of the classics there. They're very heavy. Those books are aimed for the rhetoric side. Okay, so you got to get a hold of the language, and there are lots of double meanings in that. So I wouldn't start with those heavy hitting books. I would like kind of ease my way into those books, because those books, you can easily cover one of those books for a whole year, because there's so much to unpack. There is a lot to unpack. But if you're just looking for just a book to read, for Homer, like the Odyssey, I started my kids, what I do when they're younger, I use light classic or classic lights, also known as the Great Illustrated Treasury books. So they take, it's the abridged version of the unabridged versions of the classics. Ruth, I don't know how you say her last name. It's like McClarahan or something like that. She does a really great rendition of the Odyssey. She also did, I think she also did the Black Ships of Troy. So if you wanted a good introduction into Greek mythology, then those are some really great sources. Also, get the book by Daulaire, which is Greek mythology, so you can learn the characters and the stories behind all the characters. You'll have the Greeks, you'll have the gods, the goddesses, and the other players. So when you go into reading the other classics, all of that will start to make sense to you. Because you know what? Mythology is no joke. There is a national mythological exam every year, and it's hard to take. It is very hard. So I say just ease into some of that. It's all taken from Egypt anyway, but just ease into some of those Greek. I did a video on the Odyssey because we read two different books of Homer. And so there you go. Probably longer than you wanted it. Fahrenheit has a graphic novel. Yes, as a matter of fact, is my son here? Y'all want to see it? Oh, it's beautiful. I think it came out last year or this year. Hold on, because I put a picture, I think, on Facebook. I mean on IG, because he was just lying down reading it. Hold on. Call it. Okay. All right, guys, I'm back. He's getting it. Yes. So, those graphic novels, and I think there's a trend now with turning a lot of those classics into graphic novels, because one, it's so much easier. Even if you read the whole graphic novel before you read the story, it's not. No, the graphic novel. Thank you. It's so. I saw it downstairs somewhere. It's so it just okay. People have two thoughts of things. People, like when you have a video, some people don't want to read the back part of the video to find out what the movie is. They want to make their own opinion on what they think that movie is going to be about. And some people want to read the back excerpt about a movie or TV show because they want to know what's it about. So for the graphic novels, it's someone else's interpretation of what the people look like, what the setting is, all of that. But all that aside, they're beautifully illustrated, and your child can still form their own imagination of what they think the story is about. So they're not being tainted by the graphic novel if they read that before they read the actual classic book. But you can have them read the graphic novel 1 year, thank you, and then, really? He almost broke my nail. Okay. You did break my, look, he cracked my nail throwing that book at me. Look at that right there. Right there. Okay, look. Here's the book. The authorized adaptation. Y'all want to see inside? Oh, look. So Ray has a nice long introduction. And look at the font style. It's very casual. Very casual. Okay. There we go. And just, it's a graphic novel, right? Really great. And it holds pretty close to the book, okay? It really, just think of this, it's like a really great summary, okay? A really great summary. So they get the main idea, they get the big picture. All right, let's see. Okay, Natty, so let's see. Facts, snatched from Kemet. Yes, all that Greek mythology, all that, the Roman roads, and, you know, all of this pounding their chests and stuff like that. The Trojan War. Well, oh, my bracelet broke. Oh, man. You know, ask them about the Etruscans. They want to talk about who are the people of Troy, what they look like. So people need to do their research. But anyway, it was all taken. Remember, the Greeks sat at the feet of the priest in the mystery system in Kemet. So that's why you got to really know your history. Anyway, moving on. Natty Slim. My daughter is reading Fahrenheit the novel, and she loves graphic novels. Natty, she gonna love this. She gonna love this. Maybe for the summertime. It could be a summertime read. She'll like that. And there's a really good one for To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So you got a lot of good stuff. I think I'm caught up on the comments. Any more questions? I'm getting out of here. Y'all got to stop keeping me here past an hour. I got a life. We got, we're watching, for our movie night, we're watching Men in Black Part 2. We're getting away from the 80s movies, and now we're moving into the 90s. So we'll see. Any more questions before I get out of here? Any questions, y'all? I'ma leave. Is there anything that I wanted to mention? No, but I am going to make these videos with Final Cut Pro. I might in a pinch go back to iMovie, because sometimes y'all don't know what goes on behind the scenes when making these videos. Sometimes the learning curve for things is really high. But yes, I'm gonna do a creative writing video. I'm gonna do Brave Writer, and then the other one that I cannot remember, I'm going to also do a quick video on the I can statements and state standards, finding them and seeing what is required of you. That, I mean, you got to do it, but it's always good to know what the rules are so you know how to break them, okay, if you want to break them. And then novels, my recommended novels for middle school and high school. Now, I do have that on my website, but I don't have it on my website because I'm still trying to put everything up. So my website's just been the bane of my existence, but it's coming along. It's still coming. And then the curriculum budget, I need to redo that and add the comment section. So I should have that. I might just wait and give it out for the next video. I'll probably go live and do that. And then that way I can really like juice it up and maybe add like a second sheet for you guys, just for you guys. So I feel like you guys should have something like that. So scratch the Monday. I'll probably have it, if not before the next live, then it'll be in a regular video, and I'll just, it'll be a live video though, but not a Friday night live. And then I'll have a shared screen, and then I'll actually fill it out, and you can see, oh, you know what? I know what I'll do. I'll put it together over the weekend, and then I'll put it out for you guys to get it. Check my community tab on YouTube, and then you can download it. And then when we go live, you can take it, bring it with you, and then we can fill it out. as a matter of fact, like I could, like, if I can do this with my limited computer abilities, I'll pull up like a website or I'll pull out some curriculum and then I'll show you how I fill that in. Okay. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but like for the comments area, things you might not know to add in that you might want to know. And the main thing being, is this religious or secular? Is this teacher intensive or kind of independent, hands-off, low prep, no prep? Is it, what kind of style is this? Is this classical base? Is this more traditional? Is this more, did I say Charlotte Mason? Whatever kind of style it is, if there is one. If it's math, then is it spiral? Is it mastery? Is it something in between? So you just want to get a little bit more information, because like you write this down and then 2 weeks later, you're like, oh, what was this curriculum about? I forgot. And so you might want to write down key little notes that will make you decide whether give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay, so those are my takeaways for today. Does anyone else have any questions? No more questions? I can get out of here and go eat. Y'all made me break my bracelet, and then my son made me break my thumbnail. I'm taking no responsibility at all. All right, guys. So I'm gonna get out of here, and I think I can fix this. Whatever. I got that in Jamaica. I don't know why I bought that in Jamaica. I'm like, does this look like it comes from Jamaica? Nope. Anyway, okay, guys, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I will have that down. In the meantime, I do have my daily plan checklist down below in the description box. It is totally free, and it helps you plan your day. Someone asked about a schedule earlier. Your schedule is really your routine. So it's flexible. So you just jot down what you did. You can do a journal style, meaning after your day, you jot down everything, or you can do it before everything, lesson planning. You can do it before and hope that you keep to that. All right, guys, I love you guys. I will see you sometime next week, okay? And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, all right? All right, good night, guys.